came to this man and say, I got a job for you to do. And he didn't exalt himself. He said, I'm the least of the apostles. And you're going to call yourself a chief apostle? You're going to call yourself the high priest? You're going to call yourself the commanding military officer? Did Paul call himself that? Hamashiach said he at the top of the top. So let me ask you a question. If those are the titles that you're going by, who's over you? Oh, nobody, I guess, right? Which means that you only answer to, I guess, Yahushua. You see, so Paul says, I'm a minister, and I was sent for you to believe. Read.
Even as Yahweh gave to every man.
Go ahead.
I have planted.
Meaning, I put the seeds for these men to be able to believe and walk upright, and to be able to learn and study more. Read.
Apollo watered.
Apollo came and watered with what? The word. You water with the word. You don't water with your own agenda, what you want to do, what you think, and your plans that you've created. You water with the word of the Most High. That's how you make this seed grow. Because if I water you with my water, then you're going to be what I want you to be. If I water you through the Most High with His water, He's going to give you the increase, and He's going to make you what He wants you to be. That's why you got a whole bunch of just carbon copies in Israel. Because everybody's watering with their own water. Nobody's watering with the word. They're taking the word, but they saying, well, you should do this because the word says this. But they're not reading the whole chapter. Or they're taking it out of context. Read.
But Allahayim gave the increase.
Go ahead.
So then, neither is he that planted anything.
So Paul says that he that planted is not anything. Okay, go ahead.
Neither is he that watereth.
He that waters is what? He's not anything. So I really don't understand. Where do they get exalting a man as their earthly leader? If Paul is saying that he's nobody, traditions of men. I'm nobody, but it's even when you go to Jerusalem, they had a council of men that met together. But because these different camps and schools, they autonomous. They rule themselves. They don't have to answer to no other body. We can't even have that. Pharisees, Sadducees, they all came together at the Jerusalem council and conspired against Yahushua in wickedness. And they ruled the city, halfway good, halfway bad in Jerusalem. Now you telling me that these men now can't get together and emulate that same thing righteously, like the Most High commanded us to do? All right, go ahead.
But Allahayim that giveth the increase.
So the Most High gave the increase. So let's go back into Ephesians. Galatians chapter 5. Let's start from the top of verse 20 again. Read.
Idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, variance, emulations, wrath, strife,
arguing and beefing back and forth with each other. Go ahead.
Seditions.
Now this is another thing that a lot of women need to understand. A lot of you men need to make sure your daughters and your wives understand this. Daughters, wives, mothers, sisters, cousins. What is sedition? Sedition is plain and simple. It's a rebellion against any lawful authority when they're not telling you to go against what the Most High has said. So sedition is basically anything you do that resists the authority of who's ever over you. That's it. Okay? Rebellion against a lawful authority. So if you tell your wife, you know what? I want to have baked chicken for the rest of April and May. It's baked chicken, salt and pepper every night, and white rice. When she say, you got me bent. That's sedition. But if she say, okay, but can I ask you why you wanna? You can discuss it. When she say, watch me. That's rebellion against the lawful authority. That's all sedition is. Sedition don't have to go well. And then the woman doesn't have a right to say, show me in the scripture why I gotta do that. Because the Most High said to submit to the man as if you were submitting to him or his son in all things. So there is no scripture. Is there a scripture saying breastfeed? No. Is there a scripture saying? Is there a scripture saying? Show me an epidural in the scripture. All right. Show me a painkiller in the scriptures. You see, so the point is that the woman's supposed to submit to her man in all things, and to her father in all things. If a woman's father says, I want you to go outside with nothing showing but your eyes, that's what the daughter got to do. If the father says, you know what, I want you to cover your head, matter of fact, I don't want you going to high school no more. You can drop out now, I want you to drop out. You're 16, she got to do it. Period. Now, there might be some discussion before it happens, but the respect she has with her father should be more than the respect that she has for this evil system that's mandating everybody to do this, without questioning it. You see that? So sedition is simply when you rebel against the lawful authority. Okay? If you are in public and you have elders and you arguing with a man, and the elder says, brother, stop that. Okay? Brother, stop that. Stand down, brother. And you say, nah, because I don't think, that's sedition. That right there is sedition. That's why Scripture says, obey them that have rule over you. It's not talking about obey, I want you to get Tupperware in your house and just put all your stuff in Tupperware. No more any kind of bowls or no more plastic bags. Only use Tupperware in your house. You ain't no more stuff. It ain't talking about that. It's just talking about when we operating and acting in this capacity of men of the Most High. Not just my normal day-to-day life. Well, brother, I don't think you wear no more black. When you come to class, I need you to wear orange. Everybody wear orange. Whenever we come to class, wear orange. Now look, we laughing, but guess what? There's actual camps that do that, man. I know you will make it look good though, right? You know, you and your real one, let's get the orange this and orange fringe right here, and you know what I'm saying, the orange slit with the orange. Oh, hey, we got the burnt orange, we got autumn orange, we got pastel orange, long as it's a shade of orange, right? You know what I'm saying? So that's what the scriptures say. Okay? You have the scriptures say, hold that real quick, let's go to Hebrews. A lot of people don't understand how serious this thing is, man. Okay, they think it's just something that people stumbled upon, and it's Hebrews last chapter 13. Let's read verse 17. Now we're dealing with sedition. Matter of fact, remember all this stuff is in the law. But Paul is really making it easy for us now. He's telling us the Most High have shown y'all some grace and mercy. Because under that old ways, the Most High would kill you when you did some of these things. What would happen if the judge told you, well, Yahweh Shai, we had this little case, okay, and we found out that Yaquan stole a goat from you. Now the law says Yaquan's supposed to pay back 5 goats to you. And Yaquan, you say, well, I ain't paying you nothing. Nathan. You ain't getting Nathan from me. Matter of fact, I'm going to sell all my goats. Here go the money, the shekels. I'm going to take the shekels, and I just bought this land over here, so now what? The judges say he got to pay that back. What happens if he says, no, I ain't going to pay nobody nothing? What happens to him? Worse than that. He gets put to death. Anytime you went against the judge's orders, you got killed, man. You got killed for going against the judge. I don't care, even if it was just a minor case. Whenever you went against the judge's orders, you got killed. No matter how big the case was or how small it was. You went against the judge's orders. That's how serious the Most High was about structure and order. So when we read in the book of Hebrews chapter 13, this is a very serious thing we're reading about. The Most High takes authority very seriously. Because he's authority himself. And he wants us to take him seriously. So how can he expect us to take him seriously when he letting everybody else be slack up under him? Just like you got this supervisor, you got the manager, this need to be that way, put that way, put this way, put this way. But then they come and tell you, oh man, the supervisor, you ain't got to really, whatever she say do or he say do, ain't no big deal if you do it or not. You're gonna be like, well, hold up. You know what I'm saying? So the structure that he have with the people under him, he wants everybody under him to maintain that with people that they're over also. Okay, go ahead. Hebrews 13 and 17. Read.
Obey them that have rule over you.
So obey them that have rule over you. Who's the rulers? The judges, the officers, and the elders. So the scriptures is saying obey those that are over you. The problem is that people take this and make it only about their church or their school or their organization. Now realize that this is talking about a whole body. Paul is writing to who? The Hebrews. So this applies to all Hebrews. So all Hebrews have somebody that's ruling over them. And if you're a man, you have a council that rules over you. Obey them that have the rule over you. Read.
And submit yourselves.
Submit yourselves unto righteousness. Read.
For they watch your souls.
Somebody only looking out for the brothers. When a brother come up, man, I've been in the truth for 8 days, man. You can't tell me nothing. And don't want to submit. But this thing have been going on before we were even born. We all babies in this. I don't care if you've been in this thing for 70 years. You still a baby in it. Because we picking up at the tail end of it. Okay, go ahead.
As they that must give account.
Okay, as they that must give an account. Read.
That they may do it with joy.
So we have to go to the Most High. If you are a ruler over the people, you got to go to the Most High and give account. Well, why did he do this? Why didn't he do this? Okay. Well, what did you say to the man? You know, what do you say to the man? That's why if you see somebody, making the wrong move spiritually, you can always be like, you can always strong arm somebody. Sometimes you got to reason with the person's practical. You got to make sure they remember what is the big picture. This is the big picture, what we're trying to do. So if this wheel stops turning, you can't get mad at this wheel if it stops turning too. Because we all are equal men when it comes to what is our duties and responsibilities for the nation. So if I say, you know what, in Nathaniel, if I say, you know what, we're going to move not to nobody where we at. And then Nathaniel says, well, yeah, we're going to. And then Karash, and then Lawyer, and then Banyawana, and then, Harvey, and then Ibadia, and then everybody said, we're going to just go and do our own thing. We're going to tell nobody where we at. Ain't going to be nobody no more. Right? So it says that they must give account that they do it with joy. Read.
And not grief.
Yeah.
For that is unprofitable for you. So
we don't want to give an account with grief for the men and the women that are under us. It is a hierarchical system, but it's based on spiritual maturity. It ain't based on your age. It ain't based on your money. It ain't based on what kind of job you have. It's based on spiritual maturity and ability to not just understand, but to live the word of the Most High. It's about living this. If you're not living this word, then you're not really qualified to step up and really deal with it on certain levels. On minor levels, maybe, but on major levels, no, because I'm not living it. So I can't get out here. This is a covenant, a contract. When I pick this book into my hand and say, I'm going to live by it, then As I say, doggone it, that's what I got to do. Okay? All right, let's go back to Galatians. So that sedition is when you go against a lawful authority. All right, go ahead.
Idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, variance, emulations, wrath, strife, seditions, heresies.
Heresies. Now, heresy is a very simple word. Heresy is a word that means choice. So how can a choice be wrong? How can a choice keep you out of the kingdom? What is this talking about?
Choosing to break the law.
Choosing to break the law. Okay. Choosing to break the law. Now, before I break the law, what do I got to do? No, before I break the law, what comes before I break the law, what comes before me breaking it?
Thinking about breaking.
I think about breaking it. All right? And accepting it. So what is heresy? What choice is heresy? How is choice wrong? And this is what we have to understand also. Once we understand this, man.
Premeditated thought. Premeditated thought.
Yeah, all of that. Premeditated what?
Thought.
Premeditated thought. Okay? Premeditated thought. Okay? What does that mean? That means this. The Most High tells us what we can and can't do. In other words, the Most High says, does the Most High ever say poor man can't have children?
No.
So when you tell a man he can't have children when he's poor, that you can't do it the Bible way, you gotta do it this way. You putting a choice out there, or you advocating something that the Most High don't advocate. You going aside from the Most High. That's heresy. Now, when you think something, when you feel warm and fuzzy in your heart about something, when you say something, when you entertain something, or when you do something that's against the righteous option that the Most High have given you, that is heresy. That's heresy. That's all it is. You exercising or walking in a choice. You exercising or walking in the choice that the Most High is not giving you. So you tell your son, yeah, man, when you get, you tell your daughter, don't get with a man that only wants one wife. Well, the Most High is not against polygamy. You telling your son, man, don't marry no woman unless she, if she like to eat, quail. That ain't got nothing to do with the Most High's law. First of all, who even eat quail? It's good. Would you?
It's like how them Khazars keep the towel.
Right.
They hold little verbal.
Right.
That ain't got nothing to do with it.
Right. So they get into heresies because they go inside from what the Most High said, and they actually have you doing something that the Most High, truthfully, a lot of it the Most High tells you not to do it. But they say, well, it's okay to do it. So you're giving people choices. For example, woman go out, cheat on her husband, and get pregnant. Or a man goes out, okay, and tricking off out there. He get with a woman, think, she say she can't get pregnant or whatever, and then she end up getting pregnant. And he say, well, I don't know, how you feel about abortion? Bam, it's heresy. The thought came into your mind, you entertaining it, that's heresy. Now when you carry it out, that's even worse. Okay? But heresy is when you actually walking in a way that's contrary to the Most High. That's all heresy is. But it gets into you advocating it, you pushing it, you giving this choice out there like, you know, this is the choice of a new generation, Pepsi. The Most High is like Coke, Sprite, you know, Pepsi products, but no Pepsi. Okay, Mountain Dew, whatever, but no Pepsi. So you advocating something that the Most High have not put out there. So you exercising the choice that is against what the Most High says He's for. Okay? Example, and a lot of it comes to well, let's deal with vegetarianism. Well, everybody should be a vegetarian. That's a heresy. Because the Most High told me I can eat meat. Caribou, reindeer, right? Elk, buffalo, ibex, all of the animals we don't see over here. I can eat all of that. Most High says so. So if you just say, well, it's messed up and they changed the DNA and we shouldn't, okay, we shouldn't or I can't. We shouldn't or I can't. So heresy is when you put a choice out there that's against the laws of the Most High. That contradicts the word and the parameters the Most High has given us. And I think for a lot of our, for men, everything is easy. Because you like, man, this, I'm gaining this, I can do this now, But then a man is struggling with the job situations. Well, I can't work on the Sabbath, I don't know about that, I need that money. The woman is struggling with the loss of power in this society. Because now she can't just march downtown under Yahweh's law and be like, yeah, I had a baby by him. I mean, I'm not here for him this time, but I'm here for him. I had a hearing with this baby daddy last week. I got a hearing for this baby daddy this week. Can't do that under Yahweh's law. Because the child is with the father under Yahweh's law. The child belongs to the father under Yahweh's law. He received inheritance from his father's tribe, not from his mother's tribe. Numbers 33 shows us that example. When the father died and he left his daughter inheritance, they said you can marry but only from your tribe, so that your son, when you have sons, the inheritance passes to them. They'll be inheriting in their own tribe instead of you marrying outside your tribe, and then you die. Who's that land go to? The son. So now you got somebody from another tribe occupying another tribe's land. And what happens over time? Now that other tribe can just take over that tribe's territory. Okay? So now, we have heresies. Go ahead, next one.
Envyings.
Envying, you wishing you was in somebody else's position. You desire what somebody else has for yourself. Alright, go ahead. Murders. Okay, so murders. And I always ask this question. What is the largest killer of our people today? Abortion. That's the biggest form of murder that we ever commit. And who's doing it? Not the white man. He might have designed the system through Ma'afa 21, M-A-A-F-A, and then 21, which talks about Margaret Sanger and the German eugenicists, how they conspired to destroy, sterilize, and to make, to keep Israelite children, Israelite babies from Israelite men and women from being able to reproduce again. All right? So the murders is committed by us now. All right? It's more of our people getting killed by each other than police on the street. If we would stand up against people that kill against our own people that kill our own people, like we stand up when the police murder somebody, it wouldn't be no murders in our community. If you knew if you murdered this guy, all these people across the whole nation gonna be looking for you, we wouldn't have no murders. But they want to look at the cops, the police like they the enemy, which they are in a lot of instances when they enact policies and do actions that destroy our people. and murder and kill and arrest and harass our people. All right? But the point I'm making is that our own people also are killing each other more than the police do. See, they set up a system and a design plan for us to go on autopilot to just kill ourselves off now. So even though they are the root of it, we're the ones that's carrying out that plan. Whether it's through selling each other drugs, or whether it's through selling each other, whether it's through advocating each other to murder each other, destroying our bodies. The Most High is going to destroy those of us that destroy our temple, and if you help destroy the temple, okay? So he says what? Murders. What's the next one?
Drunkenness.
So some people don't think it's wrong to be drunk. Some brothers don't think it's wrong to be drunk, but clearly the scripture is saying you cannot be drunk. You cannot engage in drunkenness. Doesn't say you can't drink alcohol. Doesn't say you can't drink Chardonnay or E&J or Wild Irish Rose. It don't say you can't, you can't drink a Mickey. It don't say you can't drink a Guinness Stout or a Red Stripe. It don't say you can't drink a Bellican. It doesn't say you can't drink Dos Equis. It doesn't say that. It says drunkenness. So getting drunk, meaning you getting off your sobriety. You're getting off your sobriety and you becoming under the influence of different things. The drunkenness is really going into different aspects of being high also, because it affects your sobriety. And you taken by something else other than your natural self. Okay? Alright, so drunkenness. Now, let's go to this next one. Go ahead.
Revellings.
What is revellings? What's revellings? That's that partying. That's that partying, that drinking, that smoking, losing yourself, just losing your inhibitions. That's that reveling. Going to the club. Because all of these things, now when we did our studies, and if you do your studies, you'll come to find out that a lot of these things that we're reading about are things that were done to worship other gods. Drunkenness was a way of worshiping another god. The fornication, every daggone February, so-called February 14th and 15th, they had a celebration for Lupercalia, when you could just have whatever kind of sex you wanted to. During the so-called Witchmas season, Natalis, Solis, Invictus, they had the same thing, unrestrained sexuality. Go get that red, it's a regular, go get the red dictionary over there. Alright? It's a regular dictionary that tells you that when you look up Saturnalia, that it was marked by unrestrained sexuality. Alright? The revellings, that's the loud noises, almost like that whole, remember, almost as often as they could in ancient Rome, they had a Mardi Gras type of event going on. They have Mardi Gras type of event going on almost as often as possible when you go into ancient Greece and Rome. So the revellings is having all these different types of parts. Now, where do we see revellings at? We see revellings when the Moabites, under Midian's suggestion, was worshiping with Yasha'Allah. And the daughters of Moab went with the Israelites, and they were on the right shelf, I think. It has one side is red and the other side has cardboard on it. So they went into the tent. They were about to have sex with this woman, and then Phineas took a javelin and threw the javelin through the woman and the man's